You're able to hear me. So, today's talk will be around leadership. So, are you or are you a person who is leading anything? I mean, I do believe all of us we are leaders or we can be leaders in some areas. And leadership skills, I think it's beneficial for all of us to learn. Something what we can definitely use. And I do believe most of people, if not almost all people, have been using during their lifetime, have been in situations being a leader or using leadership skills or learning these things, even if people are not always aware of this. Right. So definitely beneficial good thing to learn about leadership. And right, so I think leadership is a huge area and it's always something that we need to improve and we need to talk about this thing and listen other people, observing what they're doing, how they are able to get great results, how they build great teams and everything. So this is my personal experience, what I have been learning, listening, and also experience what I have done as a team leader previously and the journey what we took and everything. So some I will say some of my personal philosophy when it comes to leadership. Right, so it's definitely a challenging position. I have huge respect for all leaders who have the opportunity. Leadership position is always given. What I do believe, even if you are building your team, it's still given. It means that we need to earn the respect and earn the position. Even when we are inviting people to join our team, they will definitely consider lots of things. One of the things is definitely if they feel that they can trust us, what is the project, where they will participate. We need to show them a project plan, possibly some of the elements, timeline. It depends how they discuss them. But anyway, they need to understand what is the project, even maybe not the timeline. They need to understand the project, have the big picture and everything. And then when we have the conversation, they will definitely consider if they feel that they can, for example, trust us. And yeah, and these things should go both ways. That when we are inviting somebody to join our team, both of us, the new person who possibly will join the team, and especially, of course, if, for example, if I would build team now, today, for example, somebody would come in here, have a discussion, I would also consider these things that if I feel I would be able to trust this person and the person would think about the same of me, that trust is one of the key elements of that person. I do believe when it comes to any team and definitely leadership position, the team members have to feel, should be able to feel that they can trust the leader in every situation, and if something happens then they should have alternative. Like, for example, when we did the event last year and when I got sick, this was very unexpected situation, so it was great to have team members who step up. And I felt kind of guilty also, like, okay, I couldn't do, it was unexpected and I couldn't do more what I was doing, but still, it's also good to have plan B, or it's good to have somebody in, this is what I learned from this experience. It's good to have somebody in your team, or one person up, that this person knows beforehand that whatever is something happening, anything can happen. Maybe you are not able to make the meeting as a team leader, maybe your child is sick or whatever, or your plane has cancelled or something. So that you have somebody who is always very much on board what is happening, and the team should be on board anyways. Right, so So leadership is also it's a journey, but I do believe that like anything in life, you can read so many books as you can listen in people and everything, but these things you learn by doing. Right? It's always the active walk. The best teacher, teacher, most powerful, most fastest way of learning is simply doing. Right, and this is actually who I am. I doing and also learn greatly by observing people and situations and everything. Right, so trust is a key element to go both ways. That they feel like they trust for the leader, they trust that the leader will do what he's saying, and will take the process project until the end. Right, and transparency is important, honesty, all these things. It has to go both ways. What I personally believe, transparency. I do like to think, and I think that it should be. For example, if there is challenge, what I was always did want the message for the team that any challenge just come to me, and we will talk this, figure these things out. I don't like this kind of teamwork that things are discussed behind somebody's back when it's like a important thing, so people can talk whatever they want, but it requires this kind of like all the team members, team leader definitely. So the example, the team members, it's open communication, honest communication, genuine communication, honest, transparent, all these things should be there. Like we can't force somebody to have the conversation, to be honest, to be open, but we can always encourage. Right. So these are important when it comes to leadership, definitely. Right. Then leadership in order to get great results. So I do believe in this kind of attitude, having like this, giving opportunity for team members. First of all, if you are lucky, if you are hiring or inviting right kind of individuals for your team, I think it's great to be professional. I have to tell you that I do appreciate somehow more when the is the great attitude. You can always be professional, and sometimes we definitely need this. But I think great attitude is even more, somehow more important, because with a great attitude, this means simply we always might have bad moments or bad days and bad periods. It's okay, but I mean by the attitude I mean willingness to learn more, willingness to contribute for this team, willingness to do whatever it takes, and somehow willingness to sacrifice. Also some situations great teamwork also requires, it might be long days, long nights, it might be something that we have to sacrifice. And as a leader, we need to show this example that we want to do whatever it takes. Sometimes it might be leaded is participating in one meeting and making the extra in this moment, or taking the decisions or whatever. Sometimes somebody else is participating in another meeting, extra work, but there should be anyway the element. I think great teamwork requires the element of some level of sacrifice or willingness to do whatever it takes without the direct benefits. Like I don't believe in this kind of teamwork that we are looking for the benefits. If it's financial benefits or any kind of benefits, like this is not my philosophy. Like I am not looking for this kind of like benefit. I think I'm quite different in this. Like I mean it's not my priority. It's not my first target and goal to looking for the like this like this kind of benefits. And what I personally believe it's very important when this is not the first reason in order to have the massive success. I think there has to be more than the benefits what you're looking for. And then right, okay, I think I had thought there. Yeah, I think great teamwork, and there should be targets. Of course, would be goal and target what you're looking for. Like we were discussing before, what values should be discussed before. What kind of values? What is the target for this project or whatever you're doing? right? And but then when it comes to, let's say, benefits or outcome or everything, oftentimes teamwork will be also the target in some level or some point is also financial target, and nothing wrong with that. Of course, nothing. It's a beautiful thing, right? But I think it's more like a natural products. But I personally believe that when you have the base element in the right place, that you are a good team leader and always improve yourself. You do your best to create a good environment and giving your support and everything, and learning, willing to learn along the journey from the team members and everything. Give them opportunities and try to understand them. You give them the freedom, so they will be self motivated. So I do believe when you have the base elements in, I mean, nothing is perfect, but let's say in good enough place, I do believe there is target element, but I do believe whenever it's this kind of group or team that the financial element is also there, non-profit something else. But when it's financial element also there, I do believe oftentimes the financial benefits of financial victory is almost like a natural, somehow it's a natural kind of say byproduct, silly now, but it's like, the people are, we have, okay, we have the basic values systems, routines, and great team, great atmosphere, transparency, honesty. Then there is a project timeline. We know what we're doing, when and what, and we have good enough details. I mean, all these things, honest transparency, and then we have target, goal, clear target, clear why, what we do, why we do, how we do it. So then if it's product, for example, if we want to create this kind of, okay, I do believe it's almost like a natural, but then okay, it's like we are plan to serve. It's coming from the out of the love. People really feel it. Okay, they want to buy this great product. So okay, the great financial victory. Definitely, right. So I make it quite simple, and I mean, life is not that simple, and this kind of it's not this simple. But I think you understand what I mean. That sometimes you might. Oh, I know this when I observe that it might be people are sometimes too obsessed of the idea of great financial success without having the base elements first, and blindly to focus on the financial success. And people have different needs of, I don't want to judge, it's more like observation. And I think it's quite easy to understand that why the financial success, or at least long lasting success, won't be there when the base elements are not in the right place. Right, so that's why I want to make it very clear. It shouldn't be the first and only target, but it can be definitely, and it can be definitely targets, and it's a beautiful thing. Financial benefits, so beautiful thing, nothing wrong with that. So let's make it clear. Right, so some elements of the leadership. And so if you feel you are struggling or struggling to motivate, this might be also that it's a simple, there are different level of motivation. For example, self-motivation, this internal motivation or external motivation. Internal motivation is something that we feel that I want to do something because I really want to do, even if I would be by myself, nobody do what I'm doing, but I'm still doing, at least going forward, at least going for the direction. External motivation is basically, it's usually authority teacher, any kind of mentor guide, authorities telling something what we should do. Usually the results are not long lasting, it's not effective, right? So I do believe for this personal motivation, um, internal motivation in everything for well-being, for well and for great success. As a team leader, this is something, it's so many elements as a team leader what you have to consider. So especially if you have a bigger team, I think it's good to have few leaders in different areas, of course, who can focus in different things in order to cover at least the key areas. Right. So this is also something that people are motivated by different things. We can think that it's money what motivates them. I was reading one book before about leadership, and this was good idea. Is that surprisingly, money is usually not really driving force or even like good motivation for people. It can be in a short period of time or temporary that people are motivated if they get better salary or something. But this is what I was reading, and I think it's true. I think there has to be deeper meaning. For example, because money is simply paper, and we are not after the paper. It's what we want with the money. It's like quality, freedom of choices. It's like okay, these things. So if you just tell the people that you know what you will get $500 more, whatever, $1,000, I mean, it's like sometimes people can't really figure out what they will do with this money, surprisingly. But if you can motivate them, for example, you can tell them, you know what, you will get $500 more, $1,000 more. If it's like profitable project, we did non-profit, so it was no salaries for nobody, no gain, no financial gain for anybody, nobody. But if it's a profitable team or profitable project or like a business or whatever, so instead of telling that you will get $500 or $1,000 more, you can have a discussion and find out what really motivates this person. If to travel, you can say, you know what, there will be like a bonus trip, or you if it's a monthly like increasing salary, you say, you know what, every month you will get this much more money, and it might be, you know what, have you been thinking about, I heard that we're talking about you would like to travel, that you have the conversation on the traveling, that how this you can try to motivate this person if traveling is important, that this money can actually be good saving for your next travel. I mean, for example, but whatever is the way of having the conversation, but really to trying to find that what really motivates this person. Traveling, it can be any kind of hobby, it can be anything. I finished this video, it's super late here in Finland, but I have done my Friday video and delivered the message. So I appreciate you friends and lots of love and everything. Take care. Bye.